Okay, folks, joining me right now is the legendary, the one and only Scott Schwartz. You know him from A Christmas Story, Toy, all the great movies and television he's done throughout his incredible career. Scott, how's it like being back here in Massachusetts?
Oh, I love being in Massachusetts, and I brought my baby, Miss Elizabeth, with me. So she's got to come and visit for her adventures on Facebook, and it's great. I always love seeing you, man.
Now, there's so much great stuff that we can talk to you about. One of the things we talked about last time we talked to you was about being a ring boy for the WWE, and with all the, how was that great experience like working for the WWE?
For free, it was great, man. They loved not paying me anything. No, I had a blast. I really did. I was always treated with respect and kindness, and the guys were great to me, and the McMahons have always been good to me. You know, I still see them, and I still go to WrestleManias, and I go to Raws and SmackDowns and hang out with Lawler and the gang.
You were on Monday Night Raw. They showed you in the front row.
I was on. That was one of those things. I talked to Jerry a couple weeks before, and he's like, "Hey, we're doing the thing in Minneapolis, and I was going to be in Chicago the day before." He's like, "Oh, come on out. We'll get you on Raw." And I was like, "Okay, you know." And Steph, yeah, of course, you know, go ahead, you know. So I went out there and they did it and they showed me and I had a blast.
That is awesome. One of the great things that you preach and talk about is your relationship and friendship with Jackie Gleason, one of my favorites, and Richard Pryor. I saw one of the things you posted about Richard Pryor, and such an honor for you at a young age to work with him. What can you tell us about the great, incredible Richard Pryor?
Like nobody you'd probably ever meet your whole life. Just thoughtful, kind, sweet. And even after we did the film, I mean, I was friends with him until he passed. He knew I was an Eddie Murphy nut and took me on the set of Coming to America, you know, when they were shooting that.
Wow.
And I got to meet John Amos, which was cool because, of course, Good Times, you know.
One of the greatest movies, yeah.
Never stopped giving, ever. You know, was just so kind to me. And his giving still continues because I meet people that didn't get to work with him and didn't get to meet him. And they want to talk about, what was Richard like? What was Richard like? Beyond words, man. I miss him. And actually, I mean, we're in the middle of, I haven't done it today, but I do 10 days of Richard Pryor from December 1st until December 10th. His birthday was the first, his birthday was the 1st, and he passed on December 10th, which is the same day the Toy opened in the theaters.
Wow.
So I do the 10 days of Richard Pryor every year, and I put up different photos and quotes and different things that he said, and you know, he was just an awesome human being.
Awesome. That's fantastic. But we want to know about Scott Schwartz. That's why we're here. That's why everybody's here. We're talking about the 30th anniversary of A Christmas Story. All the cast members have come out here for Northeast Comic Con. You've been doing radio interviews, TV interviews. 32. I thought the sign said 30. Am I getting this wrong? Is it false?
It's an old sign.
Oh, it's an old sign. Okay, so we're talking about 32 years.
He does his homework.
I do my homework before I get here. It plays on WTBS for 24 hours straight. Is that too much or is that just enough?
No, because people have different schedules and families have different schedules, and it's not like everybody watches it for all 24 hours. Jerry Lawler watches it all 24 hours. He puts it on every television in his house, and he loves it, and it's great. His family loves it too, so it's always fun. But everybody is different. I might watch this part, they might watch that part, and if they miss something, they know in 2 hours they can watch it again. So it's all good.
What do you think about gun control? Now, no, I'm not. No, I don't mean it in a negative way. But you get back in the day, the Red Ryder BB gun. Now you can get it in Walmart.
Not in
you
all
can.
states.
No, you can get. I saw it.
Not
Yeah.
in all states.
Right,
you know.
right.
California, not in Walmart.
Right.
A BB gun is not the same as an AK-47. Okay,
Right.
I mean, let's face it. You know, and they wrote the Second Amendment. You know, right to bear arms. When the thing shot one bullet, man. You know, there's a difference between a one-shot rifle and an AK-47. You know, I don't think people. I don't think people need that kind of weapon.
It was more of a joke. Yeah, absolutely. So tell us, you're a collector now.
Australia.
What about
Go
your
to Australia and see what their gun control is like.
What are you doing now? Now you're a collectible, right? You have a bunch of you had stuff from everything, right? That you've been doing, and then what's going on in Hollywood with you right now? What are you doing up there with everything?
I do a charity called A Minor Consideration. It's a full 501c3 charity.
Right.
As for child labor laws, you can go to aminorconsideration.org and check it out. And we'd love donations all the time. I mean, what we're there for is to help change the child labor laws, and we help former child stars, current child stars. Who have issues, problems. They need doctors, they need lawyers. We have people that work for us that help us out and help our members out. But the laws are the roughest thing because you got a lot of people that are taking advantage of kids. The reality shows, these kids are getting paid nothing. You know, people don't understand, oh, you're on TV, you're making money. It's like, no, all those kids are getting paid zero.
Right.
You know, I'm not talking about the Kardashians, you know, I'm talking about the Dugars and John and Kate Plus 8, those kids that are 2 to 14.
Right.
You know.
Now, you called me out on this interview and said I didn't do my research. What about the Coogan law, Jackie Coogan? And that was one of the reasons why the child labor laws, because Jackie Coogan, when he was a child with Charlie Chaplin, then he became Uncle Fester. Now, I did my homework. That goes a lot with what you're doing, the minor consideration. Is that true?
Sure. I mean, the Coogan law, which is really a federal law, is only enacted in about 4 to 6 states.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
Even though it's a federal law that you're
Wow.
supposed to set up an account for a kid in show business,
Wow.
they don't. They just don't care.
Right.
Louisiana, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, they're building all these studios because they don't care about the kids. And it's one of the reasons. If they can hire a kid, they don't have to work a minimum 8 hours or maximum 8 hours. They can work a 15 hours, pay them overtime like a 25-year-old. You know, so we're trying to change that. We want to have the kids get treated better, and at the end of the day, have more money hopefully left over for them when they turn of age to pay for their college, to pay for a car, apartment, home, whatever.
I think that's fantastic that you're giving back, Scott, and taking care of the young kids. You were a young kid growing up in Hollywood. Now you're taking care of the next generation, helping them out. It is such an honor to have you on. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, the icon, the one and only Scott Schwartz.
And Miss Elizabeth.